Okay, for this video, more on lists. I hope I haven't gone overboard. This has ended up becoming a rather complicated program on how to use lists. The idea seemed pretty simple. I'm just going to make up a basic patient database, store it in a text file, and what I want to store, I actually specified my output as last name, first name, social security number, insurance company, and then a list of allergies. And one of the issues I ran into is how to store this list of allergies. In memory, when we want to store it as a variable, it's easy. We can just store it as a list. That's a built-in Python data type, so no issues storing allergies in a list. What I hadn't thought through carefully was when I write it out to a file, when you're writing to a file, everything's got to be stored as a string, and so how did I want to do that? And I ended up coming up with a solution that's pretty, well, that works and it's effective, but that had to be thought through. So if you suffered through the making of video, there's been a few changes to the program since that part cut out. All right, so here's the basic idea. We have a file name, patients.text, which stores all this information. We have a patient list, which is going to be a list of patient information, and in each one of those entries in that patient list is going to have a patient with, again, last name, first name, social security number, insurance company, and a list of their allergies. We're going to print that patient list out when we get one, just so you can see what it looks like. And then we're going to start inputting patients. So we're going to start off with a choice of yes, and while that choice is yes, we're going to input a patient. So this is a procedure I've made to input a patient and get it in the right format. Ask if they want to put in another one. We're going to print out the patient list each time so you can see what the patient list looks like as a list. And we're just going to keep inputting patients. When we're done, there's another procedure that I've written called print patient list and one called save patient list. So the things that I've done, operations I've made to operate in this list are: we get a patient list from the file, we save the patient list to the file, and we print patients. To get the patient list, all we need actually is the file name, and then we construct the basic patient list from that and return that as a list. Save patients, we need the patient list and the file name, and we're going to save that patient list to the file, a very specific format. And for print patients, we just need the list. So here's what we need to know. Well, I guess we've got it right here. So we're going to go into the file and get and get a patient. Now in the file, each patient is stored as a string. And so they're stored, and I had to make this decision, and then the way you make that decision and enforce it is in the two procedures, get patient and save patient. You just have to make sure that you enforce this sort of format. So each line of the file is going to be last name, comma, first name, comma, social security number, comma, insurance company, then a semicolon, and then a comma-separated list of allergies. So the semicolon there is to delineate all the previous information from the allergy list. Okay, so now we're going to start off with a blank list of patients. We're going to open up our file in read mode and open it as F. And then since F is a file, we can loop through that. So each line is going to be called patient. Each line is going to contain patient information. We're going to strip off any new line characters at the end of that line, and then we split it on a semicolon. So split gives us a list. It takes a string, splits that string into a list, and this should split this patient line into two pieces. The first piece is going to have last name, first name, social security number, insurance company, and the second piece is going to be a list of allergies. So I'm going to split then the first piece from that. I'm going to split it on commas and call that name. And name is actually going to just be another list that has last name, first name, social security number, insurance company. And then I'm going to split the list of allergies, which is in the second part of this L, and that's going to be a list. Okay? And then I'm going to append onto the list of patients the name. This is going to be last name, first name, social security number, insurance company, and allergy is going to be that list of allergies. And then we're just going to return that as a list. When we go to save, again, we open the file name. In this case, we're opening it in write mode. We are going to loop over, in this case, we're going to loop over the patient list, which we're then going to write out to the file. So the for loop is kind of in an opposite than it was with get, which makes sense. Up here we're looping over the file, here we're looping over the patient list. So for patient in patient list, we're going to write out last name, comma, first name, comma, social security, comma, insurance company. Then we put the semicolon, so this is where we're enforcing that sort of format. We do it right here in Save Patient, and then we're going to write out the list of allergies. And I ended up having to do this list of allergies actually as a for loop, going over a range. So we're going over a range of the length of the allergy list, and the allergy list is in the fourth index, or in the fifth position, if you will. And the reason why I did that is because I want to make this a comma-separated list. So I'm going to write out each allergy. So I is going to loop over the allergies in the list of allergies. So I write that out, and I put a comma on the end, but I don't want a comma on the very last one. So to keep track of which one was the very last one, I decided to use this I in range and then compare I with the length of the list of allergies. So the thing to keep in mind is patient sub 4 is the list of allergies. So that is a list. I guess I've said that enough times now. I've emphasized that. So as long as we haven't reached the end of the list of allergies, we write out the allergy and then we put a comma after it, and then the very last one, we don't put a comma. And then after we're done writing out all the allergies, we put a new line character in. And then for print patients, we loop through the patients in the patient list. If the person has allergies, again, this is the list of allergies here. If the length of that list is greater than 0, then we print out their last name. Actually, print out their first name, last name, tell their social security number, their insurance company, and then we say they have allergies, and we do a for loop through the list of allergies. There's that list of allergies again, patients of 4, and just print out that list. And this time, I wasn't very careful. The very last allergy is going to have a comma after it. I decided to leave that in. I mean, I could fix it if I wanted to, the same way I did up here with a for I in range. Chose not to. If they don't have allergies, so the length of their allergy list is 0, then we're just going to print out first name, last name, social security number, and insurance company. We're building this all up into a string S, which we then print. And we print that for each patient. Okay. We have an input patient. I think I only said there was 3 procedures. There's actually 4. Input patient is going to return a patient, and it's going to return that as a list. So we input the last name, first name, social, insurance company. We ask if they have allergies. If they do, we start a loop. We don't know how many allergies they're going to have, so you have to put this in a while loop. And we're just going to keep asking, do they have allergies? And if they do have allergies, we're going to input that allergy, and we're going to append that to the list of allergies. So we have allergies that starts off as a blank list, and we're just going to keep appending allergies to that blank list of allergies until somebody says anything other than Y. And when that's done, we are going to return last, first, social, insurance company, and this is again the list of allergies. And notice how at every step we are enforcing the format last first social insurance allergies. So that's a decision as a programmer that we have to make. How are we going to format our data, and how are we going to ensure that that data format is maintained? Okay, well, then let's run it and see if it blows up. Now, patients.txt at the moment doesn't have anything in it. So when we print patient list here at the beginning, that's from get patient list. That should be a blank list. We're going to run, and it wasn't a blank list. I'm having a little issue here with, this thing and saving stuff, and let me make sure this thing is empty. It doesn't have anything in it. Let's try running this again. Okay. There must have been something in patients.txt, so deleted that, saved it. So as I was saying, we go to get patient list, there's nothing in there, so when we print patient list, we should get an empty string. We're going to put in then a patient, and I always use the Bob family when I'm doing examples in my class. So we're going to have Jane Bob. She's the first human being ever insured by Blue Cross Blue Shield. She has allergies, and she is allergic to Jim, and she is allergic to cats, and she's allergic to dogs. And that is it for her allergies. And do we want to input another patient? No, not at this time. Okay, so this prints off then patient list. Okay. So patient list is a list of lists. Here's the outer list. This belongs to patient list. Here's an inner list. This list bracket right here belongs to the patient Jane Bob. We see her last name, her first name, her social security number, her insurance company, and the list of her allergies. And then let's see if that's been written out to patients.txt. Yep, oh, here it is. So Jane Bob, notice a semicolon, and then a list of allergies. Okay, so let's run this again. And now we see we've input Jane Bob has come in, and our list of patients already has one person in it. And we're going to input a new person. I didn't give the choice of whether you want to input somebody or not. You always have to input somebody the first time around. So we're going to input another member of the Bob family, Jim Bob. If you took calculus from me, you know Jim Bob. He's had a lot of injuries doing related rates problems. He's also insured by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Yeah, Bob's got some allergies. He's also allergic to dogs and cats. The Bob family doesn't have a whole lot of pets. It's fine because the Bob family is kind of dangerous. Other pets wouldn't do very well. Let's give Bob another allergy. What kind of allergies should Bob have? Car doors. I don't know why, but Bob is allergic to car doors. And no more allergies. Input another patient. Yes. So we're going to input cousin Billy Bob. No insurance. He's a cash only kind of guy. No allergies. And no more patients. Okay, so let's look at what our patient list looks like. We got Jane Bob, who's allergic to Jim, cats, and dogs. We got Jim Bob, who's allergic to dogs, cats, and car doors. And Billy Bob, who has no insurance and has no allergies. And Billy Bob, notice that when we print him out, it doesn't say anything about allergies. That was, up here in print patients, this is that if statement right here. We check the list, the length of the allergy list, and in Billy Bob's case, it was none. Oh, and I never put a space in between. Look at that. Never put a space in between their names. So the names are concatenated. And then let's take a look at our patients.txt list. So again, you can see they all begin with the same 4 pieces of information, and there's that semicolon and a list of who knows what length of allergies. Okay, so here's again a way to, alright, I don't think I need to run this again. Here's a reason why lists can be useful. It allows you to keep track of information which doesn't have to be uniform. You can have names, you can have social security numbers, you can have insurance companies, you can have allergies, all kinds of things. All right, well, I hope that wasn't too much for this go around of the program. Oh, PyCharm's upset with me, so I guess I'm just going to end the video and let PyCharm do whatever it is doing. Good night.